All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and all you demon and demon eaters out there watching. This is a brand new episode of Pink Spots, our shorter form show where we just talk about one specific book. And Joey, what are we talking about today, man?
Uh, Today we'll be talking about Marjorie Liu and Sanada Takeda's The Night Eaters. She Eats the Night, book one of a three-book series put out by, what is it, Abrams Comic Arts. So this is the first book in a series of three by the creators of Monstrous, that many of you may know from Image Comics.
Right, right. And this is such a good, fun book. I mean, it's very wholesome. It's got a horror tinge to it, but like I don't know, I think this is like a kind of a good one that a parent could read with an older child. I would say there's a few kind of sexy moments in it, I guess, but aside from that, and I guess a little bit of gore, but uh, I I think that it would be pretty age appropriate for like what a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I'd say 12, 13 is more than fine. Do these, I didn't even think of checking, like, if these books have, like, an age,
I'm pretty sure that this is rated for like teenagers, like at least a
yeah.
M13 or, but
I don't know how,
I'm
I
not,
don't
I
know
don't.
how it works for books. Yeah, because this is like a release, like, it's released directly to bookstores and everything, right? It's not just a comic release. So, I don't know how they rate that for books. Like, I don't see anything written anywhere if it's for mature readers. There's nothing like that.
Well, it's
So,
definitely not for mature readers. I'll tell you that.
mm, yeah, yeah.
It,
So,
but yeah, it's good fun. I really enjoyed it. But before we get into talking about it completely, Joey, do you got to check in?
well, I only have one book to really talk about that I started. Well, I've continued reading Essex County that I started. I'm kind of halfway through that, but I also started reading this week, Apocalypta Girl. We'll be doing another Pink Spots on this. I believe this Tuesday, right? Coming Tuesday.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so Tuesday the 4th, I believe. Anyway, we'll be covering this book, so I'm reading that from Andrew MacLean. Some of you may know his work also from Headlopper, and this was released by Dark Horse. So one of his other books that he's done, if you're familiar with his Headlopper, well, this is another book you might want to pick up if you enjoyed Headlopper. So I've been hitting that. I'm about maybe a third of the way through. So, and so far it's been really good. I'm like 30, 40 pages in and really enjoying it.
Hell yeah, cool. I really like that book too. I can't wait to talk about it with you. It's the book that really helped me find him, and yeah, really become a fan of his work.
Yeah, did he do this before he started Headlopper, or was this after
Yeah, I got that a good about a year, maybe 2 years before Headlopper started.
Headlopper?
So
Okay, okay. And did they release that as single issues, or was it like
n-
straight graphic novel?
straight to graphic novel, and it's one of the smaller. Originally, it's one of those smaller Dark Horse graphic novels, the kind of digest sized ones.
Okay. Mm,
Cause yeah, I got it right when it came out, and yeah, it's a pretty cool little book.
yeah, sweet.
I
Uh,
actually envious of yours. Yours is, I think, is slightly bigger. Hold it up one more time.
I'll put it up against a comic. I have a comic kicking around here, so it's comic size.
Okay, so yeah, it's that's cool. Cause the one I got's like, those little digest sized ones that Dark Horse puts out.
Okay. So do you think they Let's see. Maybe the pages aren't. I think
No,
they
I
had
mean
to
it's to scale. I'm pretty sure it's just like
just a
that
bit
smaller
smaller.
size that
Yeah.
Dark Horse puts out. I don't know if you ever seen their smaller graphic novels they put out.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
'Cause I have like a whole they do it. They used to do it pretty constantly. Because I have a whole like shelf full of like the little Dark Horse graphic novels that are that size.
Would be comparable maybe to this size then. Like,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, exactly.
like
It's
that.
to scale, but like it's
Yeah. Kind of
a
like
smaller format.
what's that other book we had there by Thompson there? The Night of the
Yeah,
Comet
Night of the
type.
Comet. Yeah, it's about the
Yeah.
size of like Night of the Comet or the what's it? The Rot Steak book. Everything's super. Like that
Everything's
size
super.
book.
Yeah. Mm. We're supposed to have Matt joining us, but I think I might have sent him the wrong time, so I sent him a message. I thought they were 6 hours ahead in England, but it's only five. But I think anyway, I sent him a message. He'll more than likely check it, so he'll probably hop on with us as we're going. So, man, do you have a check-in?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stretch this out a little bit too to give him a little more time. But yeah, I got the first issue of The Approach. This is
Oh,
Jeremy
nice,
Hahn's new boom book. It's pretty
nice.
cool. It's more on like a survival horror type kick. It kind of
Mm-hmm,
but like it's a giant monster up in the Arctic. People trying to avoid it and stay indoors and stuff.
mm-hmm,
It's pretty impactful. I like his horror stuff a lot. I really enjoyed Red Mother, so I'm hoping to like this as much. But like I like that it's a completely different kind of horror. He's doing
mm-hmm.
this as more like a John Carpenter type thing with people trapped.
So
Then like
it does have those vibes,
yeah, definitely.
definitely. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's man. So the thing's
Yeah.
great. So if that gives off similar vibes, then I've heard a few people, like I know a few people that are reading it, and they've had nothing but shining reviews for that book. So
Yeah, I really like the first issue. I think it's off to a good start. You know what I mean? Like we got like a whole bunch of these that are really good that are just popping off. Like that new Jeff Lemire book that I did a couple weeks ago. Like I would say is just
oh,
as
I
good as
have that.
this. The
Yeah. I have that one. I just haven't read it yet. Yeah. Yeah, you like that one too?
yeah, and
Cool.
the one about the trucker with like the
Mm-hmm.
stone people or whatever they are. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
that. That's pretty cool.
Mm. Yeah, we'll have to do a hot flashes on that then. I have it here somewhere. And I think that just can't dropped a couple weeks ago, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
and
Pick
then
anything else up? Yeah.
I got Wilder
Oh,
versus
okay.
Wildstorm, the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I like it. It's really cool. I'm pretty excited for this because Wildstorm's finally actually going to get like a pretty decent sized push from DC at the moment because like they announced the Authority movie, so like they're going to have
Yeah.
to definitely address like some Wildstorm stuff in the comics because they're going to want to promote the hell out of that. And I think that that's what this is kind of an attempt to do. But this one, it's a lot more like has to do with like Team Seven and Wildcats. The one thing that I kind of dislike though is that like the Wildstorm characters aren't really given that much respect. Like the DC characters are drawn like in their new cool style, but like the Wildstorm characters are drawn like it's 1992 and like they never updated them even in the history of Wildstorm. So I think that there's a lot riding on this, and like if they did it really cool, like it's a sink or swim thing, and the way that they're kind of portraying Wildstorm, I think that a lot of people at DC want it to sink tragically again.
Uh, well,
It's just the feeling I'm getting, at least from this issue, and some of the other Authority adjacent stuff that I've read that they put out lately, like that Superman and Authority thing that
okay.
Morrison did, wasn't
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good,
No.
which is a shame because he's actually written some pretty good Authority stuff in the past. So.
Mm, yeah. Oh well. I mean,
But it's drawn really good, and this cover's sweet. I mean, I really like that. But
yeah.
and I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep reading it. Maybe it'll pick back up.
it's got that throwback style to it, that cover.
And then last but not least, I've been really
Oh, the
excited
new
about
Doom
this.
Patrol. Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
got the first issue of Unstoppable Doom Patrol. And it's cool. It's
Who's who's on that?
man, some people I don't know their names. It's kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
some of the first stuff that they did here. Let me bust it out really
Mm,
fast.
mm. Oh, I think you mentioned it before. We were talking off camera, and you had mentioned.
Let's see. Dennis Culver is writing it, and Chris Burnham's doing the art. I'm not familiar with really either of them, but
Me either. Mm,
the art is really solid in it. I like with a lot of the stuff that they're doing. Like, I really like the idea of Crazy Jane being the chief now and like kind of being like the boss lady.
hmm
I think that that's kind of cool. But like it's if you're like me and you're a fan of, like the kind of odder, more surreal Doom Patrol stuff. This one, it's more of a mainstreamification. Like they're actually like fighting villains and working as a team in this, so it's not like Morrison or Way's Doom Patrol, but it's something that DC's tried to do quite a bit in the recent past, trying to make the Doom Patrol more accessible to
Mhm.
being part of the next crisis or whatever the hell have you. Because like, but there's one thing that really pissed me off at the end of the book. Like Peacemaker shows up, I'm like, why does he have to be in it, man? Like.
Uh,
I
yeah.
get that they want to like Batman's in it too, and it's like it's a little much for them trying to shoehorn it into DC proper. But I enjoy it for what it is. At the same time, I think that it's a pretty fun series. It's going to be a nice little six shot that I'm kind of enjoying for the most part.
Well, do you think Batman and Peace? You
Peacemaker's definitely going to be in it more. Batman not so much because in this one they go to Gotham to
okay?
stop this event happening, and Batman's trying to be like, I'm in charge, and we're going to take this guy to Arkham, and like Crazy Jane, or as she's known now as the Chief, she's like, I don't think so, dude. Like this guy, he's one of us. He's a misunderstood metahuman, and your Arkham Asylum stuff, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? It just turns out
Yeah.
villains for you or people for Amanda Waller to test on. So like we're taking this dude and we're gonna try to help him and make him one of us. And Batman's like, okay, I don't like it, but I'm gonna let it happen. And that was kind of cool because like Batman got shown up in the book, but like
Yeah.
kind of like
But do you think that's a choice the writers made, or do you think they were forced to kind of by editorial to be like, hey, you have to fit these
I,
characters in because we have shows and shit like
Yeah,
that?
exactly. That's what it is. Editorial came to him and they're like, people are liking this Doom Patrol thing. Yeah, it's catching on. So we're gonna want you guys to put Batman in it, all right? And we're gonna want you to put the Peacemaker because kids like that Peacemaker, all right?
I wonder. I'd love to be a fly on a wall when they like when the writers and the creators are in there with like the company men kind of deal and like kind of the back and forth that happens where okay, this is what we believe sells and this is what we want to at least have in it to a minimum degree. And then they're like, yeah, well, we didn't write the story that way. It'd be interesting to see
I think that this one, like, they got the mandates up front because,
up
like,
front before.
it's written pretty well with these characters in it. Like I said, like they were able to make it so like Batman wasn't the supreme authority. Like he got shown up by the Doom Patrol, which is kind of funny because the Doom Patrol are actually kind of competent in this in a way.
Hmm.
Like Cliff is
Hmm.
still Cliff, and like there's the new Beast Girl character who I think is kind of cool. I don't dislike her.
So
So
like this the same idea as Beast Boy, but girl.
kind of, but I think that they haven't shown her turn back into human, and she only kind of has one form. But she like puts out like the pheromones and makes people feel things like she can
Okay,
like trigger a fight or flight feeling in a
okay,
person and make them
okay,
leave.
okay. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Oh, Serge is in the house. What's up, Sergio? Sergio's got his site up and going. The House of Nerds has a website now. You guys can go click on there. They have breaking news on movies and shows. They have reviews. They have advanced solicits. They have like uh, recs for solicits that are coming up that you should maybe put on your poll. So they have all kinds of stuff going on there. So you go check out the House of Nerd website, man. It's up and running. Mm-mm-mm.
And yeah, Zod, we're doing a little early ones because yeah, we both got Joe's got some stuff to do this afternoon, and it kind of worked really well when we did it on Sunday. So like, yeah, I
Mm.
think that it's a little more receptive to trying to do it at nighttime. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a nice change of pace too. You know. Mm. Yeah,
always,
man.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I have something I'm gonna have to ask Sergio if he can do later on there. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you're
We'll see.
buttering them up.
Yeah, I'm buttering him up so he won't say no. I'm gonna have to ask him for a small favor. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, you got to catch more bees with honey, man. Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But yeah, as for
Mm,
Unstoppable Doom Patrol, I say check it out. Like if you're a fan, or if you've
yeah.
never actually read it before, and like you're looking for an introduction, and I'd say it's a good book to hop on. You know what I mean? It's definitely not going to be like I said, like the kind of more quintessential Doom Patrol stories, but I think that it's off to a kind of fun start. You know what I mean? They're trying to do like a really fun story with it. So
Yeah. 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 Gonna need his Spanish ways.
yeah.
That fiery Latin. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So you have those three books. Anything else?
No, that's
Did you
pretty
watch
much
any?
it.
Yeah, I didn't watch any shows really. Yeah, there isn't much going on for shows right now. I think The Mandalorian's running. I don't know if it's finished up yet.
No, I think that it's only maybe halfway through
Okay.
because they usually do like what episodes for that. So
Yeah,
I'd say
seven
that
or eight, something
I'd
like
say they
that.
probably
Yeah,
aired about four now. So
four.
I'll watch it when it's over too. That's how
Yeah, that's. I'll sign up for a month to Disney and binge
I,
it, and then cancel.
I mean, I haven't seen anything new, but like there is something that I'm excited for that's coming out like a little
Oh,
later this month or
oh yeah.
ne-
What's that?
yeah, on April 14th, the Last Kingdom movie comes out, which is a British show that I really like about Vikings, and like the show's
Hmm.
over, but like they're doing a movie to kind of like end it, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that.
Oh, Picard. I haven't watched that. I'm not the biggest Star Trek
See,
guy,
I
so
hated season one, so I didn't even bother with season two. But season three has me a little hyped because it's got like all the next generation cast in it, like
hmm
Riker
hmm
and like
yeah.
Worf and everybody's back in it. So like
hmm
that has me a little interested. But dude, season one of Picard like sucked so hard. I don't know if, like I really trust, but like I trust Zod Rider, so I'll definitely give it a
Yeah.
look. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like I'm still a little got a little trepidation in there, a
Yeah. Yeah.
little
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
truculent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's something I forgot. I started there's two episodes of Essex County out now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but it's only available for Canucks. It's
Is
goddamn
it?
racism.
You
Yeah,
can
it's not available in the U.S. yet. It's only on like CCTV or whatever you guys got up there.
CBC, but you can't download the app Gem because their app for watching shows is called Gem, but I don't know. I didn't realize it was region blocked or whatever. And you can watch it for free through
Oh, it's
Gem if you
not
download
region
the app.
blocked. It's just not on available on any networks down here yet. So
Okay, but if you can down their app to watch television is called Gem. So if you can download that, you could probably just watch it for free through
is that
there.
with the J or with the G?
G,
Okay.
no, G. Yeah, I always get screwed up because in French it's the opposite. Yeah, you pronounce it the opposite in French, J and G, G. Anyway, so yeah,
Okay, cool.
gem,
So I
as in like a gem, like a stone or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
like
So if
Jim
you
and the
can,
holograms. Yeah.
no, no,
No,
that's
that's
with
right. She was
that's with a
JEM. That's
J.
right.
Yeah, that's a J, right? I think.
I'm
Anyway,
dyslexic, man. So
yeah.
you're French. I'm dyslexic.
People aren't
so
gonna know what
it's
the
a
fuck I'm
wonder we
talking
can.
about.
It's a wonder we can even read. Like,
Ah, shit. Yeah, so I think that's the only show we've been kind of properly watching. Pat's been watching a few like what is it like uh just witch stuff and a few like CW style shows. She digs that, but I'm not. I haven't gotten into that at all. Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for the check-in. Really didn't get much reading done. So
Yeah,
yeah.
some cool stuff out this week.
Yeah, they have the Don't Spit into the Wind
Oh,
came
that's
out
right.
this
That
week.
Mad Cave book.
Yeah, I'm looking. That one's I got it at the shop in my pull box, so can't wait to hit the shop to read that. That was the one book for March I was really looking forward to, and they had to release it on the last week of March. Bastards. Mm, yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, you ready to get into the this topic at hand?
Yeah, let's get her going.
All right. Today we are talking about The Night Eaters, Book One, She Eats the Night, written by Marjorie Liu with beautiful, stunning art by Sana Takeda. And yeah, this book, it's a lot of fun, man. Like it sold as kind of like a horror thing, but I kind of see it more as like a an all
Dra-
age for family romp.
yeah, family dramedy, I'd call
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's a dramedy, definitely. Because your two main characters off the bat are Miley and Billy, or Millie and Billy, however you want to pronounce it. They're twins. They're how do they refer to them as? Uh, Chinese American twins. That's what they write on the jacket on the inside. Yeah, and they're running a business together, and you know their parents give them a hard time and hijinks. But I think that's a good choice though, making them twins, because it's that built-in rivalry, right? Of and especially they're brother sister twins, so that's a fun dynamic. You get the you know hmm, you get the different aspects, the different uh, you know. Oh, Johnny hopped out. His internet cut out. Uh, this has been an issue with his internet for a little while. So anyway, this is like we said before previously. This is the first book in a series of three that they'll be putting out. Marjorie Liu and Sana Takada. They're the creators of Monstrous, and this will be their uh, graphic novel. So this that did not release in single issues. This is straight up a graphic novel hardcover that comes out through Abrams Comic Art. So you can pick this up at any bookstore. You don't have to go to a comic shop to pick it up. Beautiful book, as you can see. The cover, nice cover. It's got a spot gloss. I think through comic shops you can order a signed edition. There's a limited number for signed editions, and you can pick that up through comic shops because they're supposed to be limited. But my comic shop keeps reordering the signed editions, and they keep getting them. So if you're into that, look into the comic shops because through comic shops you can get signed editions of this book. So if that's what you're into, you could probably still find those uh, through your local comic shop.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, where did we leave off? I'm sorry, bro.
Oh, nothing. I was just talking about the twins, and then when you got off, I just showed everyone the cover, the spot gloss, explaining that this is not like single issues; it's an original graphic novel, so you can pick it up at any bookstore. Uh, yeah, and the variant cover. There's an actual variant cover for this, which is super awesome too. So
Oh, is
you
there?
have yeah, you have a choice of that's the one with the face and the hair kind of in the wind, kind of. It's beautiful cover as well. Both covers are awesome. So either cover you can't go wrong. Mm, So yeah, you have two different covers.
So yeah, and like you were saying, the story for this it's about Millie and Billy. They're twins,
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
and like basically like they started their own kind of really cool hipster restaurant, and
Yep.
they're doing pretty okay, but like their parents worry about them because of the pandemic and everything, so they kind of
hmm
moved to New York too, and they're an older Asian couple, Ipo and Leung
Yeah.
is the mom's
Keon
Ipo,
or
and
yeah. Yep. Keon
and
or Jan. Yeah.
and they have a really cool secret that you end up learning about. But basically, Ipo, the mom, is just this total battle axe. She is just hardcore Asian mom. You know what I mean? If you've ever had Asian friends and like you've ever heard them talk about their moms, or like very strict, very stern, very disapproving if they kind of buck tradition. So the kids like they're doing well, but they don't understand why their mom's still so grumpy. And there's this creepy house across the street from them, which really vexes the mom. And you don't really understand why it is creepy, and it is kind of like got this like aura about it. But everybody just thinks it's this kind of just this kind of creepy house. But there's much more to it.
Yeah. And her character is great because she's a woman of few words, right? a lot of her displeasure is portrayed through like facial expressions, her smoking her cigarette and just blowing the smoke in their face without actually replying to things they ask her about. Uh, yeah, she's got like that sourpuss face all the time. Never cracks a smile till maybe at the end she might crack a little smile at the end. But yeah, she's really really hard on her kids, like you said, and it's portrayed so well. And the only time she actually says anything is to express her displeasure with her kids or her disappointment with her kids and lack of discipline or
Mostly with the daughter though too. She's really
yeah,
really on Millie's ass, which
yeah,
it's kind of funny because the whole time the brother Billy's always teasing Millie about being so much like the mom, and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where you get that like twins, jabbing at each other and yeah, yeah.
So
But yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, just the family dynamic right off the beginning, like the way you have the kids, the mom, and then the father, right? The father comes in and he's the how would you
Just
call him?
chill. Like yeah,
Chill, like
he's
easygoing, like don't worry about it, everything will be fine. He doesn't really uh, criticize his children all that much. He's very supportive, kind of like the balance, right? The yin and the yang to the mother, right? For the kids, and it creates that balance within the family.
well, the kids will be whining about something, and like the mom will just be like glaring at him, but the dad will be like, "Oh, your mother's so proud of you. You don't know." It's just like great scenes like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
like eating
yeah.
dinner, and like Millie's just kind of complaining about shit, and the mom's just glaring in the.
And it's and his wardrobe is great too, right? Because he's always wearing like the Hawaiian shirt, the casual dad, like the super laid back. Where is it? Yeah, he's always wearing like floral patterned shirts, and he's got like that hipster artist doofus look to him, like not a care in the world. So like the way they portray him is super great too. He's the one who does the cooking in the kitchen. The mother does all the gardening. So it's great the way they set up. Like the family dynamics in this is like so relatable. Like, I mean, for anyone, not if you're just an Asian family, but I think they hit a lot of good notes. They a lot of good beats that anyone could relate to within their family, and yeah, yeah. Yeah. They have the flashback scenes too, where that kind of set a little uh, context for the two parents, for Ipo and Kyon, and it kind of gives you a little background on mainly on Ipo to you know why she's so tough and reserved and so stern, and in her younger years she was an actress slash oh I think Johnny popped out because there's a storm at his place and the power went out. So yeah, so I don't know if he'll get back on in time, but yeah, so he'll probably hop back on once the power comes back. So yeah, there's flashbacks for Ipo, and it kind of tells a story about Ipo and Yon, how they met and how she was young and she's an actress slash action trying to be an action star, and it talks about that in the flashbacks, which is a fun story, cute little moments, and it definitely adds context to the present, like why she's such a stern person and he's laid back. So that's a fun little element that they added in that adds to the story. So, like Johnny was saying, across the street is this weird, abandoned, like haunted, ghost-like home that yeah, as that they have to go do the weeding and stuff, that the mother forces the kids to help out, seeing as how they're helping them support their restaurant. And uh, yeah, and the house has been for sale. Realtors go there and bring people to visit to try to sell it, but nobody wants it because it's such a shabby looking home. uh yeah, and yeah, so the kids go over there and they end up going into this is the horror aspect of the book is from the house. So the kids go over there and they end up going into the home, And this is when the weird stuff starts happening. So the kids go in there, the mom goes in looking for them. You meet these creepy, always weird when you have dolls in a book. These creepy looking dolls. Yeah, so these creepy looking dolls, and not much context to it. Like, right, they go into this house. It's pretty run down. It's abandoned, and you have all these weird dolls sitting around on this couch. The mother's kind of going around. Uh, doesn't seem to be unnerved by anything that's happening here, like in the house or anything like that. So that right there gives you kind of like an odd uh, feeling or sensation. Like there's something a little off about maybe the mother as well that we don't know about. Like there's something about her that you're not in on yet. Like no, you don't know, and yeah, you see it when she goes into the house where she's completely not unnerved by like the creepiness with the dolls and the stuff that's happening in the house. So yeah, yo man, you got the power back.
Yeah, my bad. It's storming here, and like, yeah, it just blipped out, but it was enough to like completely turn off my modem and everything. So,
Uh,
but hopefully, since they're recycled, like, I won't have like glitches with it. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna try to get through this episode as though.
yeah, no big deal, man. No big deal. It happens. Yeah, so I was telling about how like the kids have to like the gardening and they go.
Yeah, did you get to the part where like basically like the mom like shows them, she like takes him to the yard and she just like flops down on the ground, puts her ear to the ground, and she's just like stands up and she goes dig here, and the kids try, but it's like basically like concrete, and
Rock hard, yeah,
they're breaking
yeah.
shovels and stuff, and like this is the first day that they're there, and they're trying to dig up, and the mom just like grabs the shovel and she's able to pull it up, and like there's this crazy like weird dragon skeleton underground. The kids flip out and stuff, but the mom and dad, they're unfazed and stuff. But
Mm.
the dad basically drops a hint to the kid, hey,
Yeah,
you're smart enough to figure out what's going on. So the kid calls the real estate agent and kind of like starts piecing together what goes on in the house, and like that you kind of learn a little bit about the house in a neat way. I'm not going to explain how, but like
mhm,
there's a really kind of neat mystery. Like that's the cool thing about this book. It's more than just one thing. Like there's this
mhm,
really kind of nice romance between the mom and dad shown in flashbacks, but at the
yeah,
same time there's a neat kind of Nancy Drew mystery thing going on with the kids trying to find out about the house, and that kind of starts with the skeleton at the
yeah.
first day.
And the parents know, but they don't want to tell their kids. They kind of want them to kind of figure it out on their own, right? They could easily just come out and say what's going on, and yet they don't. They kind of just string them along, let them kind of slowly figure it out for themselves, right?
Well,
And during
the kids have
during
a
the
destiny, so like, and they have to learn
yeah,
how
man.
to deal with it because the parents pampered them. They didn't want them to have to
Mhm.
grow up encumbered by what they'll have to face when they find out like what's really happening. So
Yeah,
they kind of raised them as regular kids, but now they're trying to just shove them face first into the
yeah.
world.
Like throw them into the fire, right? Is
Yeah, pretty much
mm,
just.
more or less, yeah. But they're kind of trying to let them figure it out on their own without too much interference, and kind of letting them handle it and see how they handle it on their own and learn on their own, and like the progression, and yeah. So then it starts driving them crazy because they know their parents are keeping something from them, right? They know it, but their parents won't want to tell them. So it's driving the twins crazy. They want to know what's going on, and that leads to them doing a little research, and they track down I think the former owner of the house, if I'm not mistaken, the old
Yeah,
man, right? Yeah, the old man. That's the former owner of the abandoned house across the street is now old in a retirement home. So the kids track him down to go ask him questions about the house and this and that. Yeah, which leads to some great some great panels and the great scenes when they go meet up with the old man. Like this is where I think I had the most fun with Takeda's art, man. Like
yeah.
I love it with the lettering, everything. It's fantastic. Those pages. I mean, so great, so great. The exaggeration too. I mean, I loved it. It was funny. Some good stuff. And then like their faces. so the expressions on their faces too are so good. Yeah. Like what the fuck did we just?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some great stuff. I don't know if I show it if it'll give. I just like their faces after they. This won't give anything away. It's just
no,
yeah,
that's fine. In the car
yeah, yeah,
after,
yeah. Their faces with their eyes are just like what the fuck. Like there's so many great moments like that that just yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And then the two, they're just bickering and fighting all the time. The twins, like they nailed that aspect of their relationship as well. It's good stuff. Mm.
yeah, they did a good job with the kid characters. I mean, they're kind of shitty, but not in a bad way. In a way you kind of understand.
Hmm.
They're definitely got bratty moments, but
Yeah, because like you said, their parents kind of spoiled them, so now they're taking a harder line, right? So it's kind of pissing them off a little bit, and yeah, like why all of a sudden do we have to learn the hard way, right? Our whole lives we didn't have to learn anything the hard way. Now you're taking a hard line with us and making us learn things the hard way. So they find it incredibly frustrating, and that's delivered so well in the book, and you feel that frustration from the twins, and it's great.
well, I mean, like they have done really well. I mean, like they have a successful business. They're both
Hmm.
well. The son, they never really say what he did, but like he definitely graduated college from it. And the daughter, Millie, she's got really good school experiences, but she didn't finish becoming a doctor. And like
Hmm.
it's never addressed, but like her parents are very angry at her for not finishing that. But they do have a very successful business and stuff, which is doing well. But she's such a character that she fights with the customers, so they have kind of bad Yelp reviews. So it. There's a lot to the book, but yeah, basically, she thinks that she has actually succeeded in life. Why isn't her mom more proud of her? But the mom is I don't know, just traditional and like just
Hmm.
I I mean, I had a lot of Asian friends growing up, so like I know the at least how like they would explain it to me and stuff. So it's very well done. I think that there is a lot of actual history from the creators in this book. I think that they put a lot of their own experiences in it a
Hmm.
little bit. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because uh, Marjorie Liu, I was like we were talking before coming on live. She actually studied to be a lawyer, and she quit. She went to school. She did all her studies. I think she actually kind of worked as a lawyer for a bit, and she quit because it just wasn't the life for her to become a writer. So maybe that part of the character giving up on what she studied at school to go into opening this restaurant, like which is maybe not as highly regarded as a profession, kind of like maybe her mother showed a little bit of disdain and disappointment in her for making that choice, and it reflects in the story here. Like I'm just making assumptions here. Maybe that did not happen at all, but you can kind of see a parallel between the two. Like studied in one thing and then, oh, I don't want to be a lawyer. I'm going to become a writer and just transitioning to something else completely different. Right. So, yeah.
But getting back to the synopsis, basically after the kids kind of find out who used to own the house and something kind of sketchy that kind of happened there that they don't really understand, they are forced to go and actually inside the house this day to on the second day the parents just shove them in and this is where we get like the really kind of neat visceral moments where you really get to understand like what the story of the book is and you also get the really good flashbacks with the mom trying explaining how her and the dad met like I said and it's kind of a really
Hmm.
cute romance story because she's always been very headstrong and off-putting. Like
Hmm.
she's very beautiful, but like with her attitude and stuff, as a movie, she was a kind of a movie star, like in after the war in Hong Kong. But because of the way she is, like she was basically a stunt woman. They just used her to fight and beat people up in the movies. So
Yes.
and that's how she kind of met the dad, like because they went with this other movie star. I guess they were trying to imply he's Bruce Lee, took her to like this
Yeah.
dancing competition, and the dad was there, and he's just macking on her, and she's just giving him the looks, like usual. And
Yeah.
like finally he does win her over, and because he's like, well, you're tapping your foot at this dancing competition, so that means you might want to have a little bit of fun. So she like actually lets him take her out, and like I really liked the romance story between the
Hmm.
mom and the dad. I thought it was really really well done.
Yeah. And I love near the end of the book, they end the book on like a fantastic flashback of the kids when they're younger with their mother and their parents. Kind of that helps put a little bit of context to the twins, you know. And yeah, that's some great stuff too. The flashbacks are great. I love the flashbacks in this book. It definitely adds a lot to the story. Mm.
But the horror elements, are mostly really funny in my opinion in the book. Like
Hmm.
this kind of defines horror comedy. Like the scene in the hospital is hilarious, which is probably one of the more gory moments. And then like yeah, all the stuff with the twins having to deal with the monsters in the house, I thought was pretty done really funny. Like I thought
Hmm.
that the especially the stuff with Billy, like the nerd shit that they'd have him say, I thought
Yeah,
was really well done, really funny.
yeah. And the dolls they're kind of funny too.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
they're
especially the
creepy,
one that's
but
hanging out with the mom. Yeah, the one.
yeah, they're creepy but funny at the same time because of their reactions. Like
Yeah,
when
they're
they look
smart
at each
asses,
other.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. So it adds a nice, like, creepy but fun little element to it. Yeah, yeah, hmm yeah. I'd like to. Yeah, so this book is definitely a setup, I think, for the main story that you're going to really get to dig into in book two and book three. Like this is definitely like it develops the characters, it sets everything up, it sets up the main story for this family, what they are, where they come from. So I think book two and three is really going to dig into the more uh, the mythology and the horror of the story that began to unfold a little bit in this one. But yeah, so
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling book two is going to have a bunch of training in it for the kids. Like
mhm, mhm.
they're definitely
And
going to
book
be.
two is going to be releasing on October 3rd in 2023. So you'll be able to grab that this fall, right at the beginning of the fall. Yeah, just before Halloween, man. Putting it out right
Yeah,
before Halloween. A good Halloween book. Yeah,
that's cool too that it's coming out like almost exactly the same time as the first one came out.
first one.
Like, but
Yeah,
just a year
one
apart.
one book a year. Yeah,
That's really good because sometimes with projects like this, you got to wait 3 4 years between the volumes.
and let's say
Especially
it's not.
because they're still really busy working on Monstrous. They just put out.
Yeah, exactly.
They're working on a new arc right now, so
See,
they busy.
that's what I want to ask you because you're a little more familiar with Monstrous than I am. I think I only read the first couple trades maybe. Um, so someone who's read Monstrous and is familiar with their work through Monstrous, what would you tell them to expect? Like similarities, differences from this book, coming from Monstrous if they want to give this a try. Uh, is there something they should expect, or so there people aren't like it's not the same book,
Uh,
that's for sure.
Monstrous. Monstrous is pretty hardcore. Dark fantasy, man. Like I put
It is
Monstrous
dark
almost on
fantasy,
this.
yeah.
I put it. Oh, it's hardcore. I put it almost on the same level as Berserk. Like it's got it gets a little more toned down in the later volumes, and
Hmm.
the characters become a little more agreeable with one another. But like, it's
Hmm.
definitely doesn't have the heartwarmingness that this book
Yeah.
does. Like,
Okay.
Monstrous is like a lot more brutal, a lot more,
Brutal. Okay. Like more violent.
yeah, and a lot cruder. Like it's a very nasty, very hard like world in Monstrous. It's like
Hmm.
yeah, comparable to stuff like I like The Witcher and Berserk is what I'd compare
Yeah.
it to. Like it's like on that level of like brutality and kind of. So
So
I
it's
I
like it's
wouldn't.
like I'll go back to an Adrian comparison. So it's kind of like the way he compared Game of Thrones to the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon.
Well, I wouldn't really say that. I just said like this is them stretching their wings and trying other stuff. Because when you first told me like, oh hey, Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda are doing like this new horror book, you should check it
Hmm.
out. Like I thought it was gonna be. like Ringu or something really.
Okay, yeah,
And then like I got this really cute, really almost Brian K. Vaughan-ish story with this, but like so like I think it's kind of neat that like they're able to tell like this one story that's really really hardcore, and then on the other hand come and do this kind of cute, touching family horror story.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Mm.
like when creative teams are able to have range like that. So I would not, if you've read the Night Eaters and have not read Monstrous yet, I would not expect Monstrous to be anything like Night Eaters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or if you've read Monstrous and have not read Night Eaters yet, don't expect Night Eaters to be anything like Monstrous. Night Eaters is definitely more, something that
Hmm.
you could read with your mom. You know what I mean? If you're, like I
Yeah,
said, like a young adult or older
yeah,
teen.
yeah. Because even the like scenes where maybe you see something like you said a little more sexual oriented, it's done in a way that isn't graphic or gratuitous or you know.
Well, there's not even really anything shown. It's just implied. Like there's one part
Yeah,
where
that's it.
Millie wakes up next to her boyfriend, and like you can tell that they've had coitus. And then there's another
Mhm.
scene where she runs into an old friend, and like she basically implies she had a boob job and kind of shows it to them, but you don't
From the
see it.
back, yeah, you
You
just
just
see
see
that.
Millie's expression. Like
Well, you see her open her jacket, but from behind. So you see her
yeah,
holding her jacket open from behind, and the expression on Millie's face. So yeah, they definitely. Mm,
there's some overtones, but like there's no actual sexuality to the book. So, in my
yeah,
opinion, overtly at least.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like you said earlier. I think you could definitely read this for 12, 13 and up is no problem. Yeah, and because of the, I think it's a good all around read as well. Like because of the family dynamics, it's very relatable from a parent can relate because there's the parents. Kids can relate because you have the twin characters. So I mean, this is a very relatable book, and you could from different points of view. So that's
Yeah.
why I think you can. It's a very very good book that could be easily accessible to a large range of age group. Mm.
It's a total blast too. You can read it in one sitting. I mean, it's a 200-page graphic novel. It's not small, but
Yeah.
it doesn't drag. Like you can get really through it briskly, and you don't feel any wear while you're reading it, man. You kind of have a good time reading it because like the characters are very well done. Like the parents, even though like the mom is so mean, you love her. Like
Yeah.
Ipo is badass. Like she is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
star of the book, and it would not work if she is not such a great character. You just enjoy her, even though she is kind of grumpy all the time, and the kids are a little shitty, but like they're enjoyably so. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
like their quips are very well written, and the dad is just the hero. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's cool.
And I
So
love I love the fact that they went with the flat finished pages. Like they didn't go with the glossy pages.
yeah,
That's a great choice. I love that. I love books that use the gives you more of that like newsprint kind of feel to it. You know,
exactly.
the from back in the old days. You know, it brings me back. Yeah, yeah. And the art in here, I love the use of her lighting. Like Takada, how she draws the lighting into the book with just the soft glows of light and just the beautiful touches, the soft touches she gives. You know, like just the light coming through the back here. Yeah, like from the window, you see the glow, or when
Yeah,
she's smoking her cigarette, you kind of see the glow through the trees and onto her shoulder and the side of her cheek. Just beautiful use of light and yeah, in this book, and it definitely adds to the tone and the atmosphere. Like, yeah, I think it's a beautiful book, well illustrated. Takada does a fantastic job on the art. Mm.
yeah. All around, just a stellar read, and it's very reasonably priced too. It's a good book, and I'm really excited to see where the second one goes because I'm pretty sure it will definitely be getting a bigger conflict because the
Yeah.
conflict in this book kind of has more with the kids overcoming their own basically the whole family overcoming their own stubbornness. But like I think that they're hinting at like some kind of enemy that might show up. So I think that that might
Hmm.
be what we'll see in book two, which should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes in book two. Now that like the cat's out of the bag, you know, the mystery is revealed at the end of this, right? So it'll be interesting with a beautiful splash page. There aren't too many splash pages in this, but you do get a few, and they're really well done. The splash pages, love it. Yeah, yeah. The book finishes on well on a few splash pages. There's two at the end. Really beautiful illustrations. Mm. Oh, they actually have a preview for the cover for. Oh, it was written at the end. The for book two coming in fall.
Her Little Reapers, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I remember seeing that, but like books always say that, and like you usually have to wait. But like it's really cool that like this one, like at least book two actually is coming out on time, on schedule, which is
Hmm.
pretty rad.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, and you can pre-order that now, and I highly recommend doing so because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and like we said, you can pick this up at any bookstore. It's not something that you have to go to a comic shop to get. So if you have a bookstore near you, you could probably just walk right in there. If it's a pretty big bookstore, big enough, they probably have multiple copies on the shelf. Because I don't think, from what I can tell, there's still copies available. Like Saad just said, he went on Amazon and found one on off Amazon. So there's copies available there as well. I mean, it should be a fairly easy book to get your hands on.
hell yeah.
Mm, mm.
So all right, that was The Night Eaters. Book one, She Eats the Night. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back, like we said, on Tuesday. We're going to be talking about Apocalyptic Girl, an aria for the end of time by Andrew McLean. Really fun graphic novel, and hopefully I will not have as many internet issues because that kind of sucked this episode. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one.
Have a good weekend, everyone.